What up, guys? Joachim here, and I am sitting in my car waiting on my wife to come back out from the store, and I just had a thought. I was reading in the Psalms. I was reading from kind of an Old English translation, and I was reading in Psalm 1, where we'll, of course, do that tonight at church, and because the Kathisma order for at least the monasteries, and then the churches keep those, at least the portions of them where we meet for it, they kind of follow something similar. But they in the monasteries, they read through the book of Psalms every week, and that begins at sundown on Saturday, and that's why the service, the Vesper service in the Orthodox Church, every church will do Psalm 1. And so I was reading Psalm 1, just thinking about that, and it words it in kind of an Old English way, and I read the part where it says, "The righteous shall not stand," is the way the translation I was reading from worded it. The righteous shall not stand, or the unrighteous shall not stand in the assembly of the righteous, or something like that. I'm probably messing it up, but I understood what it meant. Like, if you would say they shall not stand, it would mean like, you might interpret that a few different ways. You might think like, oh, well, they won't even be around them. But I think what it means, though, what's intended, what's being communicated, is that they shall not stand. Like if we were in war and people were being taken out or taken away, then those people would not stand with the strong, the mighty. The weak, they fall. I mean, that's not universally true, because we read in scripture like lots of like strong people fall, but I mean, in that same kind of sense is what I mean. That the ungodly, they shall not stand in the place of the righteous. They're not strong enough. They will not survive. They won't make it. They won't stand. And even though it's worded in a way that may not entirely be truthful, it's not the translation or any of that. It's not that communicates that to the reader or to the Orthodox Christian. It's the Spirit of God. And because the Spirit of God speaks through any language, and even if the translation is older or whatever, if you read the translation and you speak the language at all and can kind of pick up on the message, then I think that just through the interaction and the experience of the church, you start to follow and understand those ideas and those concepts. And whether the translation's modern or old or whatever, like as long as it's, within the realm of whatever language you speak, it starts, you understand what's being communicated. So like I advocate like the idea that learning to read Greek, that's what I've been doing, and I enjoy that. I love that. I've been watching a variety of different television shows in modern Greek, so doing that, and then learning the prayers of the Orthodox Church, some of them in Greek as well, just as I go. Modern Greek's definitely a lot easier. So, there's all these things you can do. You can, go back to older translations in your language, or whatever you want to do. But the ultimate thing that I think we should draw from that is that the Spirit of God speaks these things into meaning when we interact with the church, when we understand these things through the church, when we understand the liturgy through the life of the church. And then it's really that brings it in lens, because you could have a modern translation that is worded perfectly and does everything. And if you are not part of the life of the church and you're not fellowshipping with the church and those things, then you're still not going to get it. So that's it. You guys take it easy, and I'll talk to you in a video coming soon. Looks like my wife's back.